Hello, everybody. It is your girl Brush, and I'm back with another video. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell button so you never miss a video when I drop. Okay? Once again, shout out to my 13 subscribers. I love y'all because y'all love me. Please, y'all, when y'all watch my videos, go hit that thumbs up button, so because when you like my videos, this let YouTube know that there are people who like my content that can help put it in the algorithm so more people can find my content and we could get these views, these subscribers, these likes. Okay, so without further ado, y'all, we finna get into this review. This is the review for Pvalley season 2 episode 4, entitled Demetrius. I just want to say that this episode was everything. Okay, I also want to say that I was wrong about the Teak and LaMurda relationship, friendship, the ship of it all. Okay, but we gonna get to that part. Okay, but I definitely want to say I knew Patrice was coming with her foolishness. What did I say on my review, my episode 3 review? You do not mess with an evil bitch that loves Jesus. You just don't do that. I told y'all that. I told y'all Patrice was coming with her foolishness. Okay, but we're going to get to that. So we opened the episode at the Pink with the lady from the last episode of season 1 who had got divorced because she had been hunching on her ex-husband's mama, like the secret lesbian lady. So, she down there blowing all her stimmy on the girls. And while she was in the middle of getting a lap dance from Toy's sick ass, Toy winds up taking the lady mask off. Now, mind, she had 2 masks on her face, right? So Toy wound up taking off her first mask, and the lady took her second mask off herself, and Toy sneezes. And when I tell you that lady had her mouth open and Toy sneezed in her mouth, that was the most nastiest. Oh, that was nasty, y'all. It was disgusting. Toy sneezed in that lady's mouth. She started freaking out. She ran up there, grabbed the mic from Big Bone, and she said, "I'm finna shut y'all down." Come to find out that lady is a health inspector. So, she tells, Uncle Clifford and them, she's shutting them down. They got 24 hours to get up to code, and she gonna find them, like $11,000 because, Uncle Clifford, called her out and was like, "Wasn't you the heifer that got drunk and was, all on the bar and found out you was," and that's why she wound up giving them $11,000 fine instead of what was the first fine? I think it was like almost $25,000 or something. So then after that, Roulette and one of the OGs get into it after Roulette starts talking shit about Toy costing her money. And the OG, basically put Roulette on blast, talking about you have, extra, curricular activities that you do, i.e. slobbing on knobs, right? Slurping and jerking. And, Roulette denies it. And, the girl keeps, like, taunting her. And Roulette gets to beating that ass. And, somebody was recording on live. Uncle Clifford was trying to break it up. Big L had to come in there and yoke Roulette up. And, he brings her in the office or whatever. And she like, "You gonna fire me?" And he was like, "Fire you for what?" She was like, "For fighting." And Big L was like, "Where you learn that wrestling move from?" I forgot what it was called. I think it was called something. I don't remember. Whatever the name of the wrestling move was. And, she was like she learned it from her brother. And, Big L lets her know that, she kind of reminds him of his daughter. And then he asked her, about her getting out the car the other night. And she like, "What was you and Brady doing with them boxes?" And, you know, he didn't say nothing. She said, so I'm going to take that silence as I need to mind my business, just like you do, basically. And so, you know, they kind of like come to an understanding and agreement. I do me, you do you. We got an understanding of what happened. And, you know, Big L also kicked her some game. I'm really loving Big L this season. I'm glad they made him a series regular. Then we see, I believe that was the actual Bella Noche's girls, you know, who said, if we can't go to our favorite Bella Noche's, where can we go? So they was outside the Pink, and they said the same thing. If you can't go to the Pink, then where can you go? And then we see, you know, Mercedes and Uncle Clifford on the phone. And, you know, Uncle Clifford, you know, giving Mercedes the tea on what happened with Roulette and the OG. So then we see Patrice evil ass on the news saying that she running for the mayor. And I told y'all Patrice was coming. Patrice told him he fucked with the wrong bitch. And he did, because now Patrice running for mayor. And then Mercedes tells Uncle Clifford, you done created a monster. And you know, Uncle Clifford, like, I mean, I thought the bitch would have been happy with having the what's it called? The referendum or the veto or the casino. Now she was going to run for mayor too, child. So then we see Mercedes get a text message from Coach saying to slide through and finish the Mercedes experience. So she dip out. Then we see Keyshawn outside a beauty supply store showing off her lashes. And, you know, we see Gidget that made an appearance. And, so, you know, she chilling with Keyshawn and the gang. And, you know, after Keyshawn films her live, letting everybody know to go to the local, what was it called? Camay's Beauty Supply to get them some lashes. She points out that the promotional poster picture is lighter than her actual, you know, skin tone is. And, you know, Rome like, no, that's just the light. When, no, in actuality, they lightened her up. Then Murder asks Wody once again, where my promo at? And Wody, like, you know, Wody jokingly says, you would look good at some lashes and nails, old Uncle Clifford. Oh, not he said old Uncle Murder ass. And they both start laughing, and of course they still playing the game Killer, which I think is fun that they kind of made this road party game like a part of the storyline, where wherever they are, somebody, you know, winks at somebody and they have to die. Like, it is so funny. I like that that's like a part of the story, this little mini side plot of them playing this game. So it's cute. What happened? Oh, then we see Teak is upset about he, you know, he's watching videos on his phone, and you know, we see that he's upset about another black man being murdered. And I believe that they are talking about George Floyd but not actually talking about it. So I believe that's what that was. And you know, you could tell it's still some tension. Well, it's some tension between Teak and Rome as they get in the car, and you know, Gidget decides to drive because Teak didn't want to. So as they're listening to what's going on the radio, Gidget changes the radio station, and Teak cuts her ass out. And then they wind up hearing DJ Never Scared on the radio, and Murder was like, that sounds like Never Scared. And Walter was like, no, that's not. And as he kept listening, he realized that was Never Scared. So Gidget gets her phone and she calls him, or whatever the case may be. And so, you know, Murder takes the phone from her and like, yo, we hear you on the radio. And, you know, he like, when you needed that verse? He was like, last week, but I'll settle for tonight. So, afterwards, you know, Keyshawn asks Gidget to, you know, put the radio station back. And they hear that it's an 8 o'clock curfew in effect. So they're going to be chilling at the hotel tonight. So then we see Autumn picking out clothes to wear. And, after she comes out the bathroom from changing, we see Montavious ghost creeping around, you know, creeping around in the background of the paint. So as she, kind of feel the spirit, here come Corbin, egg ass, banging on the door like he the police. And so, he like, oh, y'all closed again, huh? Look here, girl. This investment you got is drowning you. And she like, I'm good. I can swim. He was like, so look here. I ain't gonna keep playing with your motherfucking ass. He was like, so either you gonna take this $1 million offer, and she was like, or what? And she got his face. And that's how I knew Corbin little punk ass is pussy. He stayed ready to cuss somebody out to somebody step to his little punk ass. And so, shit, did I lose my, and Autumn, tells him, I could get more. Basically, let him know, okay, I see you up here keep offering me this $1 million. But trust and believe, I know I could get more money out of it. And then she slammed the door in his face. Then we see Andre pull up to his house in Atlanta to surprise Brittany. Because apparently he was supposed to be home a week later than when he got there. But, so, Andre get in the house and he like, Brittany. And we hear her moaning and coughing and stuff. And he rushed upstairs, child, only to find Brittany down on her knees sucking dick. Child, Brittany was in there sucking dick. Child, Andre decided to choke dude out. I think his name was Dante. So, he choking him out. And, Brittany like, no, Andre, stop. So, he let him go and do like, can I get my clothes? And Andre said, out! The way he said out was hilarious. So, dude run out the house naked. And, Andre cuss her out. She talking about, Andre, where's your mask? Bitch, what? You just got caught sucking dick and you talking about where his mask at? Girl, shut up. So then she gonna say, he understands me. And Andre like, that's who your mom and daddy them really wanted you to be with anyway. Not, some dude from the hood who couldn't buy you a house. And so now that kind of makes me realize why he treats her the way he does. Because he always felt like he wasn't good enough for her. And her parents have always, like, reminded him of it, like kind of put him in his place, like you ain't never gonna be good enough. And now it makes sense why he turned down the job from her dad, because he felt like it was a pity offer on behalf of his daughter. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like when you don't fuck with somebody, but because you love your family, you decide to extend niceties to them on behalf of your family when in actuality you don't really fuck with them. So that's basically what that was. And Andre peeped the bullshit. So she was like, so what you doing home early anyway? And he basically lets her know, I came home early to tell/ask you if I could run for mayor of Chucalissa. So of course she laughs or whatever, and she tells him he won't win. And you can like see the hurt and disappointment in Andre's face. Like he never expected her to be the person to like not encourage or believe in him. Because, he hears this from her family because they don't think he's good enough. But for her to say it, you know what I'm saying? Like, I could tell Andre loves her, but you could tell that he was tired of being in that relationship. So he was like, well, I sure don't got nothing else. Well, before he leaves, he says, well, I sure don't got nothing else to lose. And so basically, Andre finna go on back to Chucalissa and run for mayor. Then we see Sadie's show up to the condo looking for Coach, half naked, only to find Faraday collecting her camera. And Sadie's goes, run, grab a coat, put it back on. And Sadie tells her the reason she left early from the other night when they was having a threesome was because of her daughter. And she proceeds to show Farrah pictures of Terica and stuff like that. And Farrah was like, "Oh, you super mom," and Mercedes was like, "No, I'm trying to be." So then we see Coach call Farrah on the phone or whatever, asking where stuff is. You know how like when you in a relationship with somebody and they'll never can find nothing. So after that, we see Sadie's on the pole. She's spinning and doing tricks and stuff like that. And then Farrah starts taking pictures of Sadie's, and she was like, the NDA that y'all had me sign stated no pictures, press, or public appearances." And so Farrah was like, "It'll be between us." And she continues to take pictures. Then we see Uncle Clifford bring grandmother down to the pink to help get up to code. And then Big L announces he got help coming, as we see Brody, who I found out name is actually Duffy, but I'm going to continue to call him Brody. So we see Brody show up with a rig full of Africans, and Uncle Clifford says, "Where y'all ship these niggas from? Wakanda?" Whoever wrote that line is fucking crazy. That shit was funny to me. So, as they're unloading the supplies, we see Toy. And, she lets Uncle Clifford know, "I brought, help," or whatever. And so we see the other girls ready to help. And we see Diamond, who says, he was still in the group chat. So then then we go back to Sadie's teaching Farrah how to climb the pole. And, after Mercedes basically show her what muscle, she got to use to twerk. Because, Mercedes started touching all up on her inner thigh near that coochie cat. And, Farrah gets all emotional and stuff. And then she wound up offending Mercedes. Basically saying, "I can't believe I'm crying in front of a stripper." And, of course, she apologized for saying it. And, she says, how strong and independent Mercedes is, and she never met someone like her. And next thing these have to start kissing. I'm like, oh, okay. This what we finna do? I mean, I saw it coming when, Mercedes was over there dancing and Farrah looked like she was in pure amazement. I saw this coming. I saw this coming a mile away. So, they start kissing and whatnot, and they start hunching on each other. And then we get back to the pink. As they get in the building up to code, and we see and hear the girls talking about Diamond and how the reason he left is because he wound up having a PTSD episode. And then Toy started talking about the actual real reason why he left is because Keyshawn pulled a gun on him, trying to protect her nutcase. And the new house mother basically shut that down, like, "Girl, them is tall tales." Anyway, and of course, as the girls are in the middle of having this conversation, we peep Big Bone over in the cut, peeping the scene and listening to everything. And I just got this feeling Big Bone is the ops. Something about her tell me she's the ops. And what gives me that vibe is Big Bone has damn near been all over the club. She started off bartending, now she DJing. Big Bo is slowly working her way up in rank in the club. Like, she's literally getting all over the place. I don't know what she up to, but I have this feeling she one of them people, Montavious people from that gang he in. Then hold on. Oh, here we go. Child and wrote front to back on this. Sean reading right papers. Then we see Diamond go back into the private room, and he winds up having a panic attack, thinking about where basically he put Montavious' body, basically. And so Big L comes and snaps him out of it by asking him to come outside. And so, Diamond tells Big L he should think about a new job. And then, Big L says, "As long as the pink here, I'ma be here." And says they need security like Diamond, who knows where all the bodies are buried. So then we see on the news, Cal put out an 8 o'clock curfew as Andre shows up, upset. And Uncle Clifford says, "You look like a man whose wife cheated on him." And he replies, "I am." So Uncle Clifford like, "Oh damn, bitch, I was playing." But here go the bottle, and slides the bottle his way. Um, then we see Patrice Agisel telling the protesters to stay home and pray. Roulette leaves upset after watching the news and goes in the private room. So Brody hears her crying and asks if she's okay. And we find out her brother was killed by the police. And his name was Demetrius, the title of the episode. Which I have to say, it was a really good thing that this episode, which was about police, black people being killed by police brutality, was named Demetrius after, somebody, a black name. Not to say it like that, but you know what I'm saying. Like the name gave the episode some weight, if you will. And she basically calls Brody out for having white privilege, for about how white people always get away with stuff, and of course, he comforts her. Then we see Diamond and Big Bone meet or whatever for the first time, and she lets him know she can handle him, bikes, and horses. So then they basically dip out together. And then we see Mercedes wake up alone after her hunch fest with Farrah to messages about Patrice as on the news. And of course we see that Farrah had told her, she had fun, they should do it again. And that she had left her some bands on the nightstand. And you could just tell Mercedes kind of felt some type of way. Of course she leaves after she sees the group text about the pink. So then we go back to the hotel with the gang, and Teak is still watching the news on edge, and Murder leaves to record his verse for Never Scared, for the Never Scared record. And then we see Teak and Rome get into it about why black people get killed by cops or whatever the case may be, and they're having this back and forth because Rome is one of those people who's like, well, what he did or whatever the case may be. Teak's like, what do you mean what the fuck he did? And so they're getting into it. And Gidget tries to get Keyshawn out of the room because she was triggered by Teak yelling. And so, Gidget starts yelling at Teak and he cusses her out. And it was this moment where she was like, I wish her mother, and she was like, I wish, and something would, or whatever the case may be. And Teak was like, what you finna say? You wish your nigga would? And she was like, no, I was gonna say, I wish your motherfucker would. And let me tell you something. If the N word would have came out of her mouth, I would have expected nobody but Keyshawn to backhand the dog shit out of Gidget. But that's just me. And Wody has to basically carry Teak out of the room after he, starts breaking stuff. And, Keyshawn starts crying after being triggered by the altercation. Then we see Teak go back to him in Murder's room. And, he's using the bathroom after hearing Murder in the room rapping. And Murder like, nigga, fuck. And Murder was like, nigga, you fucking up my flow. While peeping Teak, pissing or whatever the case may be. So then they go back in the room and Murder asks what's wrong with him. And Teak says he weeps for the world and talks about the world not wanting a nigga, period. He had this monologue about, the world not wanting a nigga, a good nigga, a bad nigga, a rich nigga, a poor nigga, a nigga, period, basically. And shout out to the actor. His name is John Clarence Williams, I want to say. I, of course, was first introduced to him on Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist. And on there's an episode, something similar to this, but it's about fighting for the right to be black in like a white space, if you will. If y'all don't watch no other episode of Zoe's One-on-One, I mean, not Zoe One-on-One, Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist, that is the episode to watch. That episode, so fire. So And, he starts crying or whatever. And, Murder comforts him. And, he says, and then Teak says, you're going to be an icy nigga who makes him proud. And then they start kissing. I was like, oh, okay, I was wrong. I was big wrong. Okay, literally, my last review, I was like, I don't see it between them. And I was like, well, maybe in the next few episodes. And literally, the next fucking episode. I was like, oh, a bitch was wrong. A bitch was big wrong. Okay. Because I thought, Teak was just being overprotected because that was his friend and he knew and he wanted to protect his friend's image. You know what I'm saying? I didn't actually think that they was secret lover. Yeah. That's what we are. Well, I guess for murder they secret lovers because I'm gonna tell y'all. Anyway, so after they start kissing or whatever, Murder walks over, pulls the condom out, and like, let me tell you something. That scene between the two of them, it had me very hot and bothered. Okay, I was like, oh shit, okay, I like this shit. Okay, so Murder takes the condom out the pack and with his thumb places it in Teek's mouth, and Teek slide that bitch in his mouth with his tongue and he get down on his knees and place that hole and get the okay. And then they get down with the get down. You feel me? I was like, oh shit. So of course we realized that Lil Murder is a top. Okay? Because if y'all remember when him and Uncle Clifford got the popping it off last season, he was breaking backs, okay? And that's what Lil Murder do. That nigga breaks backs. Okay? I was like, okay. I was very wrong about this, but I was very turned on. Okay? So, then we see Uncle Clifford showing the girls where they was going to sleep or whatever, because, it's an 8 o'clock curfew in place. And they noticed Autumn's stuff in the corner. All the while, the African was back there left to his own devices, and I feel like he was doing something he had no business and tried to play it off and was like, where the bathroom at? So, Uncle Clifford was telling the African where the bathroom was. So then we see Andre and Autumn outside, out back, talking about the offer and, his run for mayor. And, Autumn basically encouraging him to do it. Now, mind you, the whole time they're having this conversation, they don't know that Uncle Clifford is in the office listening to this. So, she tells Andre she's always planned to sell the pink. And, Mercedes shows up and, Uncle Clifford tells Mercedes, shh, be quiet. This bitch over here. So, as they're listening, Mercedes hears her say about selling the pink and all of that. So she take her earrings off, getting ready to fight. And Uncle Clifford was like, what's rule number, whatever. No witnesses. Wait till that nigga leave before we go outside and decide to whoop her ass. So then we see Uncle Clifford come outside, and of course Mercedes and everybody else follows and cusses Autumn out. And she says it's just a building, and they start, and they could start the pink over somewhere new, not knowing that the pink is a family business. You know what I'm saying? Because grandmother had the building when it was a juke joint called Ernestine's. So the fact that she just said it was just a building and she don't know that, that's basically like damn near a historical black business that she's trying to like destroy. Like, you low-key want to smack the dog shit out of Autumn. So, everybody mad, started cussing her out. And she says, y'all gonna see. Oh, and then Uncle Clifford says, y'all better open up my rule book because y'all gonna see her face next to the rule 29,000. Be careful who you let through the door because you can't save every single hoe. I said, oh shit, bitch, you done made it to the rule book. And this whole time, I was like, okay, Autumn with her shits, not knowing that Autumn had more shit with her. And so then Mercedes says, Montavia said you was an easy bitch to love and an easier bitch to hate. I was like, ooh, bitch. They gonna jump you. Bitch, you better sleep with one eye open. They gonna jump you, ho. Of course, that we find out they didn't pass the code check, and they got more stuff to do. Then we see Murder wake up the next morning after everything, and you know the condoms on the dresser, whatever the case may be, and we see Teak, of course, is already dressed, sitting by the window holding a postcard, and he says to Murder, "Who the fuck is Cliff?" I said, "Oh shit." Then proceeds to say, "Whole time you been out, you never sent me a postcard." And you know, then he grabs his stuff and proceeds to go outside. And you know, Murder lights up a cigarette, knowing he done fucked up. Like, damn, I ain't never want this nigga to find out this shit. So then we see Keyshawn. Before that, we see Keyshawn get Gidget in an Uber that was like $300 plus, and of course her nutcase calls her. She ignores it, and so then Rome comes outside and says, "I know Teak going off made you uncomfortable," and you know she plays it off like nah, and he was like, you know, you could talk to me about anything, and he was like, I'll talk to Wody about Teak or whatever. Whole time Wody was in the cut listening. So then we see that Tyrell left Andre the house in his will, and you know, as Mookie and you know Tyrell's kids are coming to you know get their stuff or whatever, she wound up handing him the will, and in the last line of the will it says, "May you always have a place to lay your crown," and that shit made me tear up because that goes to show that Tyrell really did love him, and no matter how fucked up or ass backwards of a person he might have seemed to be, he really did deep down inside have a good heart because he cared about his community and he cared about Andre. So then we see Andre call Corbin Aggie ass and tells him to meet him at his new campaign headquarters, which is his new house. And also, that also is a good thing because now he owns his own house. And he could divorce Brittany ass because I told y'all he didn't like that lady. Well, come to find out he didn't like her family. And, you know, she caught that fire for being associated. So then at the end of the episode, we see the gang in the car, and of course, you know, Teak and Murder, they're sitting on opposite sides in the back of the car or whatever, and you know, Wody and Rome in the front, and Keyshawn in the back. She's sitting next to Teak. So Murder gets a text message from Uncle Clifford that says, "The world seems like it's falling apart, ain't it? You okay?" He doesn't reply, and then in the backdrop, we see a city in, you know, in smoke or whatever the case may be. And when the episode ends, we see all the names of all the black people who lost their lives to police brutality. This was a damn good episode, simply for the fact I did not, for real, Teak and Murder Hutch in this episode. Like, I was like, oh my god, I was big wrong. Baby, when Teak said, "Who the fuck is Cliff?" and you ain't never sent me no postcard, bitch, I was like, ooh, Murder, you in trouble, girl. You in danger. Danger. This was a damn good episode. Let me tell you something. At the preview for episode 5, we gonna see Derek crazy self again. Lord, I hope he don't put his hands on Keyshawn, but that's the vibe I got from the preview I saw. I also don't like the fact that Rome was basically talking to Keyshawn like he was a pimp. I ain't like that. But yeah, so next week's episode is gonna be, I think, another Keyshawn heavy episode. Yeah, I can't wait for episode 5. Episode 4 was good. We is getting good this season. Like, all the first 4 episodes was everything. But episode 4, oh baby, yes. Also, with them having Brody and Gidget in this episode, it showed you how white people react to things like this. Like, Brody sat there, listened, and was comforting and allowed Roulette to get her shit off. You know what I'm saying? Whereas with Gidget, I felt like it was like, nigga, don't nobody give a fuck. That don't affect me. I don't fucking care. Like, that was the vibe like Gidget kind of was giving off versus what Brody was doing. I don't know if next episode I'm gonna call Brody Duffy or not. I might call him Duffy Brody or Brody Duffy, depending on how I feel. Yeah, y'all, but that was my review. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like these videos, comment, share, Facebook, Instagram, in your group chats, whatever. Tell your sister, baby cousin, sister-in-law Tracy to watch my videos. What movie I got that from if you make it this far? Because, you know, I don't think some of y'all make it. But anyway, y'all, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Show your girl love because I love y'all. Without further ado, I'm gone.